pearl necklace, that's going to be later. But this next item is key to the cure, and it's what we're all about tonight. To help us in this effort, I've got several ambassadors, and I'm very, very proud to introduce them. Join me in a round of applause for my ambassadors. They're led by Kim Katowski. Please join me in welcoming Becca White. She's 4 years old. Kylie O'Brien, 9 years old. Grant Genois, 15 years old. Rebecca Kinder, 16 years old. Marky Burlington, 21 years old. Anna Jensen, 18 years old. Ruth Henry, 18 years old. Kate Pittenger, 11 years old. And Elizabeth Pittenger, 14 years old. These are my ambassadors. Give a round of applause and help us raise some money tonight.
Thanks, Fletcher, and thanks to our people up here that are going to help us hand out an award to everybody that donates. But first, we have a little program for you, and I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Donna Winkleman.
Good evening. I first contacted the Arthritis Foundation in 1987, hoping they could provide me with information about juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. I was a young mother with a 2.5-year-old little girl who had recently been diagnosed. What they provided me were support through connections to others and invaluable information, both which, without a doubt, helped our family survive this chronic illness. At the time, I thought arthritis was an old person's disease. A few aches and pains, simply treated with aspirin. What I didn't know was that my little girl would not only have more than a few aches and pains, but also that the 18 baby aspirin she took daily as a 2-year-old would only work for a few months. Megan was treated with the best drugs and therapies available in the 80s and 90s, yet she suffered arthritis involvement in her neck, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, hips, knees, ankles, and toes. The disease changed our lives forever, but so did our contact with the Arthritis Foundation. Tonight, I'd like to share with you a video that was taped as part of the Arthritis Telethon in 1990. The telethon was a 6-hour annual event live from Las Vegas, airing locally on Channel 30. It was hosted by hometown celebrities such as Nancy and Cliff St. James, Porky the Clown, as well as Channel 30's on-air talent, Sherry Sisak, and radio personality Smash. Megan gained national exposure by serving as the poster child for the Missouri office. Please watch this 2-minute video as I describe my feelings of fear and uncertainty of where we were headed with this dreadful disease. And thank you for your support this evening.
My hopes for Megan are that they'd call me tomorrow and say there's a cure. We're finding now that she's not going to outgrow it. The medications that she's used so far haven't helped as much as we'd like. I can't imagine where we'd be without them. But we've got a long way to go. And we've exhausted quite a few medications. There are a limited number of medications that you can give her. And it's scary when you don't have, there's just not a lot out there to do for her. Oh, sure, a miracle could happen, but we're not holding our breath.
Arthritis is something that hurts.
I know it's hard sometimes, and things seem larger than they are. But if you need to tell someone, that's what I'm here for. Cry on my shoulder,
like to introduce my daughter, Megan Winkleman Woodley.
Hello, thank you so much for coming tonight. I want to follow up the video by reading something I wrote a few years after the video was taken. Hi, I'm Megan Winkleman. I'm almost 10 years old. When I was 2.5, I was diagnosed with arthritis. By the time I was 5, I had arthritis in almost every joint in my body. Arthritis is something that really hurts. That is how I began my speech at the Arthritis Foundation Silver Ball in 1993. 20 years ago, I stood up here speaking to a similar group of people. Some of you today might have been in that audience. At the time I told you, arthritis is something that really hurts. In the 20 years that have passed since I last spoke at the Silver Ball, so much has changed. I grew up, I graduated college, I adopted a cat, I started working full-time as an engineer, I got a dog, I bought a house, and I met a wonderful man, and we got married. My life on the outside is laid out just like any other 20-something. What you don't see in the smiling photos is the numerous amounts of medications that I've tried over the last 2 decades. The multiple surgeries, including replacement of both my hips, the recovery, the therapy, the hundreds of doctor's appointments, and the days and the months of pain. It's because of the moments that you can't see that I was able to follow a pretty normal path. It's because of the years of trying new medical regimens that I was able to control my symptoms enough to buy my own house and live on my own. It's because of the hip replacements and the amazing surgeons and therapists that helped with my rehabilitation that I was able to walk down the aisle at my wedding. It's because of the research and outreach the Arthritis Foundation helps fund that my life is able to look so normal. It's because of your monetary help that my disease has not defined me. Before you sit back and think, wow, her life has turned out pretty great, our work here is done, I want to tell you about another Megan. My family met the Ankenys through the Arthritis Foundation. Their daughter and son were just a few years younger than my brother and me. So our families naturally became friends as we spent time together at various Arthritis Foundation events. Their daughter Megan also had arthritis. My life may look much like a normal 20-something's, however, Megan's life took a much different path. Megan never got to experience college or start a career. Megan will never buy a house or adopt a pet. Megan will not fall in love and get married. Megan was never able to experience even one day of her 20s. She died from complications of arthritis at only 16. My parents raised me to never feel different. Despite my disease, I had a pretty normal childhood. All the doctor's appointments and medicines were all that I ever knew, so to me they were just part of life. I was 19 when Megan died. That was the first time I really realized how different my life could have been because of my arthritis. To me, arthritis has just always been something that really hurts and something that I dealt with. Megan's death showed me that not only does arthritis hurt, but it can kill. And this is unacceptable to me. I can't help but question that if some of the wonder drugs available today had been discovered a few years earlier, would Megan still be here? That is what makes the Arthritis Foundation's mission so important. 20 years have passed since a nervous, little, almost 10-year-old stood up and asked for your help. 20 years have passed, and arthritis is still something that really hurts. But it doesn't have to. Your gift to the Arthritis Foundation makes a difference, and the fact that I'm standing up here talking to you today is proof of that. However, the fact that Megan Ankeny is no longer with us is proof that our work is not done. It is estimated that there are 300,000 children in the United States diagnosed with arthritis. Despite the many advances that have so positively affected me, there is so much more that can be done. Your donation tonight will will help ensure that these 300,000 children will have a chance at a normal life. Your donation tonight may just save the life of a child like Megan. Please give tonight for me, for Megan, and for the 300,000 other children and families struggling with this disease. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan. I certainly couldn't have said anything better than that. But I do want to read our mission statement. Improve the lives through leadership in the prevention, control, and cure of arthritis and related diseases. We are not going to stop. And tonight, we have an opportunity to help fund research as